They say cats can see what we can't. I never used to believe that, until the night my cats brought home something that didn't belong in this world. Something that looked like a stray, but wasn't animal at all. It all started after I moved into an old farmhouse nestled at the edge of town. The place was rustic, with floorboards that creaked when you walked and a porch that groaned in the wind. It had been abandoned for years before I bought it, and despite the unsettling rumors in the area, tales about disappearances, flickering lights in the woods, I needed the quiet. After years of city noise, all I wanted was peace. And my cats, Salem and Luna, seemed to love it. They'd roam the fields by day and curl up by the fireplace at night, purring softly as if nothing in the world could harm them. I figured if they were calm, then I had nothing to worry about. But that changed on the fifth night. It was late, around 2:30 a.m., when I heard scratching. Not on the door, but beneath the house. It started as a faint rustling, like paws scraping wood. I assumed one of the cats had gotten under the porch and was trying to get in. I opened the back door and called out, "Salem? Luna?" No answer, just silence, and the deep black of the yard stretching out before me. I stepped onto the porch, and the scratching stopped. When I looked down, two green eyes stared up at me through the cracks in the boards. At first, I thought it was Luna, but the eyes, they weren't quite right. Too wide, too unblinking, and glowing. I backed away slowly and shut the door. My skin crawled. The next morning, Salem came inside like nothing had happened. He leapt onto the table and started cleaning himself. But Luna was missing. I espiente all morning, calling her name, shaking the treat bag, checking the fields. Nothing. Just as I started to panic, I heard a soft meow from the side of the house. I rushed over. Luna was sitting in the tall grass, beside something else. A third cat, except it wasn't a cat. It was shaped like one, sure, but its body was too long, its legs too thin, its tail twitching in unnatural angles. Its fur shimmered like smoke under sunlight, and its eyes were mirrors. It didn't blink, just stared at me, studying, mimicking. I tried to shoo it away, but it didn't move. It simply tilted its head and gave a low, guttural purr, one that sounded like wind through dead trees. Salem hissed at it when he saw it. Luna, on the other hand, didn't react. She sat next to it like it had always belonged there. That night, I heard the scratching again. Louder this time. Closer. It was under the floorboards, in the walls, above the ceiling. And then whispers. Not words. Not quite. Just shapes of sound that slid into your ears and left a residue behind. I barely slept. Over the next few days, the third cat began to show up more often. At first, it would just sit outside the windows. Then, it started creeping up onto the porch. Then, one day it was in the house. I came down one morning to find it curled on the couch beside Luna, like it had always been there. I didn't let it in. I know I didn't. But there it was. It looked up at me, its mirror eyes glinting, and purred loudly, not like a happy cat, like it was mocking me. I tried to pick up to throw out, but the moment I touched its fur, an image flashed in my mind, brief, violent, searing. A room soaked in blood, nails scratching at wood, eyes staring from under the bed. I stumbled back, gasping, and the thing leapt off the couch. It skittered into the hallway and disappeared, but it didn't leave. I could feel it. Something had entered my home, something that wore the shape of a cat, but wasn't. That night, Salem didn't come inside. Only Luna returned, but she wasn't alone. The third one followed her, slinking through the open window like liquid shadow. I tried to shut the window, but it was too late. The moment the sun dipped below the trees, the house changed. Lights flickered. Shadows moved where they shouldn't. The walls began to hum, a low, resonant tone that pressed against my chest like a heartbeat. I found Salem under the bed later that night. He was shaking, his eyes wide. He wouldn't move, wouldn't eat. When I tried to pull him out, he let out a scream, a sound I didn't know cats could make. And then I heard it, from the hallway, that same purring. Deep, heavy, wrong. I turned slowly. The third cat was there, sitting in the middle of the hallway, Its mouth was wide open, but it wasn't making the purring sound. The sound was coming from the walls, and behind it, something moved. A shape, tall, gaunt, crawling along the ceiling. I slammed the bedroom door shut and didn't open it until daylight. The next morning, all the food in the kitchen was gone. Every scrap, torn bags, shredded boxes. Even the fridge had been left open. Claw marks ran across the floor, up the cabinets. But no paw prints, no signs of a real animal. Only black, greasy smears that shimmered like oil. I tried to call for help, but the phone gave nothing but static. I drove into town, desperate to speak to someone, anyone. At the general store, I asked the cashier if they'd seen strange animals in the area. He looked at me slowly, then said, "It's not an animal." "What?" He leaned in closer. "They come with the cats. Always do. They were the shape first. But they're not what they seem." I stared at him. "What are they?" His voice dropped. "Watch the mirrors. That's where you'll see their truth." I returned home just before dark. Luna was on the porch, grooming herself calmly. That thing sat beside her, watching me. I didn't speak. I didn't move. Just walked past it, into the house, and locked every door and window. But the moment night fell, the mirror in the hallway began to ripple. I approached it slowly, breath shallow. Behind my reflection, I saw them. Not just one, not just a third. Dozens. Tall, gaunt figures with stretched skin and long fingers. They hung from the ceiling, curled on the floor, pressed against the walls like parasites waiting to hatch. All of them smiling, all of them watching. My reflection blinked, but I hadn't. And then the reflection stepped forward. That's when I knew. The stray my cats brought home wasn't just living here now. It was letting the others in.